Okay, Søren and Mika, nice to see you and nice to meet you. I'm Stefano, Heavymetalwebzine in Italian. And you already met David at Copenhagen?
I met David, yes. And I know David from my previous apartment. He had the neighbor apartment. I met him, in the backyard. And straight away we found out we both loved metal and hard rock. And then, later on he introduced me to your website and we tried to do an interview at Copenhagen, but we were both shit-faced. So it was just like fucking. It didn't really succeed.
The drunk interview.
Yeah.
Did David knew you can play guitar, or you were undercover? Like I like rock.
I think he found out that I was a musician, but we just talk music,
Now, a musician touring with Glenn Hughes, coming back from a big American tour. Do you want to tell a bit about your latest tour?
It's the longest tour I've done in my life. It's the biggest impact of, attention from fans, because it's Glenn's 50 years anniversary, which is the Burn album and Stormbringer, which was his highlight with Deep Purple, of course. And for me as a sideman, it's just the most fucking crazy tour I ever had in my life. And it's been long because we started in Spain in May, and then we had like 10, 12 summer shows, and then from August I haven't really been home in 14 weeks. South America, North America, Turkey, UK, a couple of European shows, and just fucking full on. Really intense. But I mean, Glenn is still at his best. He's 72 now. He can still sing those songs perfectly. and for this tour, I decided to really dial in my gear and really nail the Richard Blackmore thing, because I knew there would be a lot of Purple fans. So I was like, I want to do it proper and really give it my best. And I've never received so much love from a tour. This tour has been really fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah, I've been following some of your video. I can tell on your face you were very happy.
Oh. It's just nice to do this the right way, and especially because Glenn still can sing as good as he does. It's still how can I say, it's still a present gig.
Come with us, yes.
It's not just like an old legacy artist that doesn't really pull it off anymore. So yeah, it's been the best tour ever, for sure. Really good.
Mika,
Yeah.
you're also coming from, actually you're in the middle of a big tour, because you had your own solo tour just finishing.
Yeah, I did that in Danish tour, yeah.
And now you have Love Shop tour, never ending.
Well, yeah, we played the 6 sold-out shows in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I know you was in one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's nice. We released a new album and decided to only play Copenhagen to make like an event out of it, So that was great. That was, then people came from the whole country to see these concerts, and that made a good vibe, I think.
It was absolutely special. I was there with my punk buddies and for the underdog and the underground, but everybody from rocker to punkers to pop people, it was so much of a kind of Copenhagen happening.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, the band has a long story, so there are a lot of different types of people who actually like the band. It's not just one type of people, so that's nice.
So, and together you two are electric guitars.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. When we have time to meet, we are electric guitars. And now we have, how many weeks? 5, 6 weeks?
Yeah, we have.
Tour in Denmark?
Yeah. We will come to that. I will ask you about your friendship and how does electric guitars match you two. You have such a different style, and I really want to ask you something about that. But first, maybe we just touch some of the album I selected for today, just to have a bit of your telling about what people are listening. Guilty Pleasure, very beautiful album. I really like this picture especially.
Thank you.
Where was that?
It's in Los Angeles, and it's on Highway 101 right there. And we were shooting the video for the opening song, City of Angels, and then my video guy, which is one of the best video guys I ever worked with. He had that super camera. He just between sets. Søren, can you just stand over there, pose a bit, and that was the album cover. It's done by left hand, just.
So it was like an ambush, like lay down your guitar and come here, and then he took it. Wow.
Yeah, ploop, 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 next.
Wow.
But he just had, he's a really, really good, film instructor and photographer. So everything he does just, boom, turns into gold.
So you are a guitar hero, people knows you for guitar. Why you decide to indulge into your guilty pleasure and come out with this? I mean, was it a deliberate decision or just something because you have a bunch of things there?
Well, the truth is about...
Which was the plan?
Guilty Pleasures. The truth about that album is because I had a long, long relationship with TC Electronic pedals, guitar pedals,
Right.
where I was demoing at NAMM every year. And I had a lot of backtracks I used for those demos. And the product manager, Alan, he said, some of those tracks are really melodic, Søren. You should record them and put them out. I was like, there's nobody else than me and my mother that want to hear that. And then I was like, fuck it, let's record it and see how it sounds. And then it took me a long time because I did it in between sessions. And then that's the album. It's all pretty much demo stuff from my gig with TC Electronic that turned into melodies and solos and stuff.
I mean, you have so much variety. You have a bit this very American vibe, a bit Joe Satriani.
Very American.
I don't
Look
know
at
where
the
to
cover.
go. I mean, and that's also what he actually counts a bit for me. So how do you feel that this album fit Denmark?
It
something
doesn't...
for Denmark is just Denmark. It's just a guilty pleasure you didn't care about.
It is a guilty pleasures project because I know it's alien for a lot of Danish people. It's really weird, but we did Copenhagen, we did 50 shows in Denmark, and I realized that a lot of my generation, because I'm 50 now, so I was 17 in 89, 88.
Yeah.
A lot of guys from my generation went to LA and studied at MI. A lot of guitar players went down the Nuno Bettencourt, Paul Gilbert, Satriani, Steve Vai rabbit hole, which I did. I think the only hole you looked into was Steve Lukather, and then you stayed away from it. But I was one of them that really Floyd Rose and fucking hair and spandex and the whole shit. And then I was like, when I realized that Black Crowes and Hendrix and Zeppelin and all that shit, I discovered that music really late in life.
Yeah.
And then, 10 years ago, I was like, let's record it and see it. So over 10 years, it took me over 10 years to record it.
Wow.
In between gaps. Not 10 years, maybe 8 or 7 years. But anyway, there is an audience for it. They just need to find out that it exists.
Yeah.
But I must say the attention I've got with that album worldwide blows my mind. I mean, Americans and Brazilians and a lot of fans find it on Amazon and shows up and want my autograph in the middle of the jungle, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was also part of my choice. I think this album is so universal in a way, and even Italian people, they are very, how can I say, they are very close also to this idea of the virtuoso and the, doing this type of thing. So I think it's something that it can really speak to everybody. I will maybe short a little bit. I don't want to get too long, but I will write more about that, and thanks for that. Is there a specific song in this album you feel very attached yourself?
Yeah, I think the song called Satori, the ballad, that really turned out good with the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which one? I'm really proud of Satori. I think it's a big, beautiful song, and I think why it has got any attention is actually what you said, Mika, because it's so clear. The product is a clear.
It's pure.
It's pure and clear.
It is what it is, and you're not in doubt about it.
Yeah.
The cover tells the story.
Yeah, and as you said at Copenhagen, you saw the gig and you will never put it on at home, but you were entertained 60 minutes of proper guitar music, And as you say, it's a clear product.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bad Weather and Beirut, so the start of the B-side, was for me the most tantalizing one. But I'm also very on the rock side. So for me, those two songs really pushed a bit the boundaries and come out with something, very rock, but also a bit quirky in a way.
Great.
But absolutely love it.
Thank you. Good to know that it make a difference.
When I read on your website, you mentioned about synth music. As a producer, that it's something you have been dwelling in the 90s, maybe?
Synth music was just a part of being young in the 80s and being a skateboarder and a graffiti guy and being into Bravo magazines and the whole Depeche Mode, Duran Duran, Tears for Fears, Just Can't Get Enough, all that. I just fucking love it. And I still love it. One of the best concerts ever is Depeche Mode live. It's just, every time we see them, Mika, we just like, such a massive sound and the way they work with keyboards, it just stayed in my blood ever since. And not to speak of guilty pleasures again, but a lot of that is behind my guitars. I do a lot of weird keyboards.
I was actually going to say that it's not that far from each other.
I don't remember which track. I think it could have been Sky Bar.
Yeah.
That you have this kind of tapping that is almost like
a lot of it.
Playing around like a keyboard more than a guitar or a piano.
Brain.
Fantastic. We have a very special record from Mika.
Yeah. It's my second, yes.
It's your
Danish
second.
language record, yes.
And it's very difficult to find right now, but you will have a lot of orders soon, so please print a bit more.
Yeah. Well, it's Danish language songs. Yeah. It's, what is it? Søren, you've been recording it with me. What would you call it? Classic songwriting, maybe with some Warren Drugs up there and some Neil Young or whatever. I don't know. I'm just writing songs and singing them and trying to. Well, it is so different from what I've been doing. I've been, playing very, very noisy guitar my whole life, and then suddenly I find time to take up an acoustic guitar. I never played the acoustic guitar, so the whole thing.
Because that's also the I think the beauty of this one compared to the Den Danske, your first one, he had a huge success here in Denmark because speak a lot to the mood of the country. But this one, I think it contains much more. It have, to my at least listening, some writing like a Bodega Bob Dylan or something like that, and then at the same time you get a bit of this rock and a bit of this Bodega ballad, almost like 70s or 80s Danish rock. And I think they really represent something that only the touch from the guitar virtuoso towards something more and more various. I should not give you answer. I should ask you.
But I do not disagree with you. The thing is, it is like after work I do this. It's really I just wrote the songs very fast for the first record, and then suddenly it was like my whole head exploded. Also, playing concerts alone with an acoustic guitar. I've been doing the same thing my whole life, playing hard rock guitar, and I love it. But it's very funny to open a new door and see there is something in there that I never tried. And I played concerts in private homes and people start crying and stuff like that. It is crazy. It's, for me, it's really, they cry because of the song I wrote. It is a whole new path in my life I'm taking.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm giving up the other path. It's just nice also to try something new in my life.
Absolutely. So what you feel has been your main discovery coming from your very rock background to something like Den Danske, and finally to something like this, very so focused on the stories, emotions, and light guitar. So what was your learning out of this experience, or your feeling out of this experience?
Yeah, but it's very funny with songwriting because I really don't sit down and think, now I'm going to do a song about this or that. I just sit with the guitar and songs just comes out with lyric and all, and then it's just, what's this about? Okay, this, and then I can finish it. It's very strange. I've never tried it like that. Well, we did that when we write riffs together, Søren. Also, it comes very easy for us, and this is the song. This is how it is, and then we make it. So until now it has been very easy for me to make the songs. Of course, it takes a long time when it's Danish lyrics, and I need to, you know, it has to have a deeper meaning and all that. But it's for me, it's just a dream project.
But and
it's the same for you, Søren. This is a dream project.
That's a guilty pleasure project.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's just going down what you really, you know, find a new way.
Absolutely, but for Søren, I mean, you really do all the time what you are, what you like. It's your rock. For you, I really felt like there was like this development, and I mean, I really feel a lot of things in here that are also in Love Shop.
I was actually
in terms
going to say
of the way you play guitar and the way that you let the melody. But what I didn't expect is the way you sing, because Love Shop you have this, you know, very big frontman that have a very strong imaginatory, so you kind of push a little bit his lyrics or his soul into the music you do. Here it's only you. Yeah. And I was so impressed that you told me that you just get it natural, because it's very well crafted actually.
Thank you.
In terms of lyrics.
But I haven't, Søren, you can probably say that I'm right. It's not like I plan this, it just happens and then I do it. So I just wrote the song because there was COVID-19 and I couldn't play. And then I had an acoustic guitar I bought from 10 years ago and then started playing on it, and songs just came out, and I called Søren, I need to come to your studio again.
But I think that it's important to say that Mika is a way more skilled lyricist than I am. I don't really know how to write a lyric. I don't know how to, you know, it always ends up like a big blurry, you know, kind of messy lyric if I'm on my own. Mika is way more, you know, he structures his lyrics pretty fast. And then all your work with Love Shop and Gnags and and Klaus Hempler, if you guys know him, he has been an English singer, Danish, but singing English 30 years. And he did one album in Danish. And you played that tour. Yeah. I think all that kind of, without you having a plan, plop, 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 and you wrote 4 songs and everybody was like, it's pretty good, Mika, you know.
But most of the one-liners that are very good in the albums are yours. So, but maybe I'm good at doing the.
Yeah, I grew up with Duran Duran, you know.
Yeah.
The reflex. That's what I grew up. I like those big fucking shout. That's what I love. But the verses and the rest of it.
Big drum and a very strong sentence.
Living on a prayer. The rest of it, I don't know nothing about it. You know. But I'm a hooky guy. That's what I go for.
But I mean, that's why you have friends, and that's why people are lucky to have you as friends. You know, you together, because I think you really complement each other in many ways.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was observing you while you were playing at Love Shop.
Yeah.
You're generally quite content on the stage. You're not like this guy that gets very crazy and really put on the show. You also go around with Glenn Hughes that doesn't hold back anything. So
I'm a little bit more. With Glenn, I'm a little bit more 1 meter behind him because he's the star. So
so you're solo. You go in the front of the
stage. Yeah. He gave me like 4 spots where he goes, all right, Søren, get your cock out. Go out there. Let it fly. Let it fly.
Get your cock out.
Yeah, let it fly.
That's very much him.
Yeah, very Glenn.
No, but you are a bit different. I feel like you are very concentrated on your guitar. And then I really got impressed on the start of the third song that you just look at the people and had this very beautiful smile. And you did it several times during the act. Like sometimes you just, you know, come out from your bubble in your guitar and get this smile and look at people and feel like you are relaxing or enjoying something. What comes to your mind? Or what is, you know, the feeling that you have when you play?
Well, Love Shop is so different from electric guitar. Electric guitars is like Glenn said, get your cock out. So there I'm running around like Søren, but that wouldn't fit in Love Shop in any way. So I have to be like, I just need to be in that space with all the sound and just be in the music. Yeah. So it's another way of playing music that is more in family with this project. Yeah. Actually, I think that's where I learned a lot of that. So actually, I'm a little split. But still, I think I'm Mika Vandborg. But I have two sides that are very different.
Yeah, that's actually also what I was thinking, to talk with you about, but I don't want to pressure too much.
No.
But I really feel like, okay, how does those two combine? The very beautiful lyrics, this very light and beautiful guitar that you have in Love Shop, and then this very rock.
Yeah. And when I started, to check out, because it's a 10 years jubileum anniversary with Electric, I had to check out the songs, and we haven't played for a long time. I was like, "Whoa, this is great!" So that's nice, because I've been another place, and then come back to it. I'm full of energy and want to play it.
That's great. Rock Radio, and it has some of my favorite songs.
Great.
And also there is a collaboration with Jesper.
Yeah.
In this album, and we will talk a bit about that. I want to know the backstory of him being in this album as a producer and as a guest.
Yeah, well, it kind of came together because the year before we did
Please take it.
the year before we did that album, I played bass with DAD because Stiggy had an accident. He broke his arm, and they needed a bass player, and Copper, he phoned me. "Do you know bass player, Søren?" And I answered, "Yes, I can play that fucking gig, not a problem." I'm a massive DAD fan. Grew up with DAD, so those songs were very familiar. So before I knew it, I was playing a massive festival with DAD. 6,000 people. I'm sleeping on bass, And we became friends, me and Jesper. And Jesper knew about us. Electric guitars, he knew about the band, and then about when we decided to write songs for that album, I was like, let's ask Jesper, see if he wants to, co-write one of the songs and sing it. And he was like, fuck it, yeah, let's do it.
And
but
actually,
maybe I'm actually, but he's also the producer.
No, it's Copper. It's the guitarist. It's his brother.
Yeah.
So it's both brothers on the album.
That's it.
Copper is the guitarist, yeah.
So the brother of Jesper has been producing this album. How was this choice?
There was also the bass player and the drummer. Morten, especially, the drummer, was really like, we need a producer.
Yeah.
And so Copper has produced albums before for other big bands. So
it was like a friends of friends type of setup.
You know how it is when you get involved with the biggest rock band out of Denmark?
Yeah.
You kind of start to see, holy fuck, there might be some goodies we can learn from the big brothers here. And I think we had Copper on board before we asked Jesper.
Yeah.
Is that right? We decided to let Copper produce us before we even talked to Jesper about that guest vocal appearance. I think that the thing with Jesper, it just came up. Did we open up for them
We actually the day that Stig fell and broke his arm, so we played before, we played at the same. We played, and then Dizzy Miss Lizzy played, and then DAD played. So we were there the same day.
Can't remember.
Yeah. So we met them on and off. It's a small music business. So Søren also have a studio where people walk in and out all the time.
Yeah.
So.
But it was natural when Jesper became a friend of the band that asked him to do a song, and when we wrote that song, I think we had the song before we had Jesper, and we were both like, fuck, it's so up the alley of DAD's material. Let's call him. And he was like, I need to write my own lyrics and I need to do my own melodies. But other than that, let's give it a try.
I mean, when I heard it, I felt like, this is fit his voice so well.
Yeah.
Nice socks.
Thank you.
Always different socks.
Yes.
Yeah. It's part of the gimmick, right?
These are the
notice.
Pink David Bowie socks.
Pink David Bowie.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you both play rock, and then when you do solo, you are like water and vinegar, or like
yeah, you could say
the devil and the only water, something like that. So, does it reflect inside the electric guitar duo, the two guitar hero?
I think we have a few players we both admire, like Angus Young and Hendrix, and there's a couple of those where we both like, that's the shit,
Yeah.
But we are what we are, and we play very different, but under the same kind of umbrella of
Yeah.
guitar. You know, we got the same gear, kind of the same guitars and stuff, but still, it's in the fingers. You know, that's how it is. As Lukather, he said, "Wow, that guitar sounds really good." You think so? Well, listen to it now. How do you think it sounds now? It sounds like Lukather when he plays on it,
Yeah.
right? And but if I do a sound check for Mika, if he's delayed and I pick up his guitar and do a sound check, I can't make his gear sound good, but he sounds amazing on his equipment. so it's, and that's I think we discovered it when we were very young. When we met each other, we were like teenagers,
And we Federica.
yeah, and we instantly we just like, that's fucking great. That guy spent a lot of hours at rehearsals. We just like that kind of now or never, play till you die, kill or be killed attitude, and we still have that when we see each other and listen to music and write songs. It's still, you know, this is not a hobby or a job. It's a full life of guitar playing.
So you had a very personal friendship, but when he was in the studio, it was just the music, or just about music, and you experimenting each other instrument, or playing together and try to create a sound. So you already anticipated it. So you get friends when you were very young. You were in Fredericia. Actually, my ex-wife, I have to say, she's also from Fredericia, and she was a big fan of Kick the Kangaroo. I think she had a crush on the bass player, so she also started to play bass because of that. Don't tell him.
Amazing.
And you were living close by, right? Just
No,
north there.
Aarhus, yeah. What is that? 1 hour away in the car,
No,
something like that, yeah.
So did you met?
We played at some child rock and roll festival, children festival, both of us, and met, and then, also something with, I was down there and needed equipment, and you had some.
Yeah.
Søren is also always very, very helpful with everything, so that's the first time he saved my ass, and then he's been stuck with saving ass.
I think it's also because the music scene in Denmark is not that big.
No.
And when I heard about him, and he heard about me, and we started to play all these festivals, it was just natural to team up. Instead of being like, we just teamed up. Like, what drive is that? Well, that's my tube screamer. Oh, I never seen a tube screamer before. That's
Yeah.
So it's just a whole life. We've just done that all the way, and still does. When we meet, like, fuck, Mika, have you heard that guy? He has and then we go to concerts together and analyze albums and shit. So it's kept, we kept it all the way up, that friendship,
What is, when you listen music from other people, when you are a producer, when you are in the crowd, or looking at other project, what you really seek for? What is the important part for you about live music or music in general?
Energy is my, if it has the energy, I think that's why when I heard Jimi Hendrix 9 years old, I was like, that's what I want to do. I think it's energy in rock music. Has something to do with energy. If there's no energy, you can have the best songs, but it helps to have the best songs and energy.
Absolutely.
So without energy, rock is nothing, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's also interesting that a lot of music that I dig is full of finesse and full of skills and shit, but I also like ultra primitive rock, primitive pop, simple stuff like 3 chords and a good lyric.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty schizophrenic when it comes to music.
And I totally understand it, agree in a way, because actually having an elaborated music sometimes is also a way for people to just throw off something more emotional, which is part of the energy. You don't have to be a virtuoso to give energy. You can just be just a person throwing out your feelings, right?
I mean, first time we heard Jack White, a kick drum and a drum beat, I think the whole world was just like, that's the new shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the new shit. And then he built a whole career out of being that simple guy that doesn't give a fuck. Put on a pickup and a fucking piece of string with a bottle. He's cool.
So now it's more than 10 years you are friends together.
Yeah.
Maybe more than
Yeah,
20,
well, that
probably
is,
even.
The friendship is 30,
30 something.
30 something,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
35. But the band is 10 years old.
Yeah. How do you feel you're two gonna go with this electric guitar and your collaborations?
I think like it is now. It's on and off. Then Søren is going to play with Glenn the next year. We're not going to shoot any guns next year, I think. Søren will be doing that. I'll be doing other stuff. And then maybe 25 or what happens?
I think Mika is totally right here that electric guitars will be that band that never splits up. Never.
No.
There will always be electric guitars, but it will be when we have time. And I know we both talked about it after we toured with Sanne Salomonsen. We did a lot of work with her. I think there will be more of that where we get maybe an international artist.
Yeah.
I mean, try to find where the fuck is Huey Lewis? What is he doing? Or where is the singer from that band that we both love back? You try to find vocalists and work with that. That's something we've been talking about. It could be great to.
It went very well with Jesper. And now he's doing his big tour, I heard, but maybe afterward we will see some new...
You'll never know. You'll never know.
So, electric guitars, how does it fit to Denmark in terms of music scene? Of course, this is the project of your friendship. That's you together as a friends doing what you loved as a friends, as a kid. And
there is a rock audience in Denmark,
Yeah.
but there is, as you experience right now, there's a big one outside Denmark, but for electric guitars to go outside Denmark would be very difficult, I think, right now. You need to have a big company or support a big band or something,
What I'm thinking is that there is a lot of rock in Denmark, but very few is so unique and so self-indulgent. Like, this is exactly what you want to do and the message you want to send. And I think it's very inspirational for many guitar hero out there, or for the next guitar hero listening this and maybe willing to do the type of rock you do or become the type of guitarist you are in this album. So what would be your things or the things you learn or the suggestion you would like to give to the person who felt inspired about play guitar out of listening this?
Well, we did this project. It came up because Mika and I, we both had that work as being a sideman for pop music, and then we both were like, let's just do that rock project together and let's record an album. And I think we've been on the radio 10 times in our life. That's it. I think that's the only airplay we had ever. My Rock played a lot of our songs, but the commercial, Danish radio, I think you can count it on two hands. But over the years, we discovered that people like guitar music, even that it's not on the commercial, TV and radio. There will always be a rock audience, and that thing about keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Just go out and play those shows. Some of them pays nothing. Some of them pays a little bit more. And after a couple of years, it took us 5 years, we started to see those numbers like, fuck, we sold 300 tickets in pre-sale. We sold 410 tickets in pre-sale without having a single hit ever.
Actually, you're also a bit sold out in some of the dates already.
Yeah,
so like,
we heard some
the
numbers.
One close here in nell'evento.
Copenhagen looks good, and Roskilde looks good, and my hometown, of course, looks good. but if you know what I'm saying, being a rock band, fuck the radio, fuck it. Fuck the whole idea of being, fuck it. Just go out,
But I don't want to attack media now. Of course, they do some type of business related to their money flow. But today people, I think they are detaching a lot from the radio. The radio is what you listen in the car, but when you come back home, you go to search the things you like on
100%.
streaming or whatever
100%.
other service. And also, I mean, these physical things that we seems to love so much nowadays, once again, they are very much the symbol of people willing to create their own personalized collection.
Absolutely.
So, pick some of the songs you are more attached about the electric guitar project and tell me why. Or something that you really have a story, like something that come out with you two. And
Is it a song from one of the albums you're
whatever
thinking
you
about?
like. Something you did together and you feel like it really shows, you know, something about you two working together.
I think that on the first record we did the thing with our 10 Danish guitar heroes. It's
Yeah.
called Hero of Mine,
Yeah.
where we called, you know, the 10 most legendary Danish guitarists to come and join us. I think that will be, you know, something that will, you know, be there. When you talk about electric guitars, there's the guy that, you know, made, you know, Tim from Dizzy Miss Lizzy, and, you know, the guitarist from Gasoline, which is the most legendary rock band from,
Yeah.
you know.
Actually, I saw Dream City, which is the drummer of them,
Okay.
just a year in Erleo in their
Yeah, yeah.
basement. I don't remember now the name of the guy, but he was this multi-instrumentist that was also in this Danish progressive,
Okay.
and it was
But
mind-blowing.
I think that was really nice doing with Søren. You know, we made the riff and, you know, called all the guitarists in, and
Yeah, then the national TV news showed up
Yeah.
for the reception of the album to do that interview with everybody, and that was a big a
Yeah.
big thing for us to do that. But
it's
I
also
would-
a big thing for the guitar.
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it's funny enough you have Rock and Roll Radio right in front of
Why?
you, because that was our third album, which was, in my book, our first really focused album where there was, you know, songs like Headless Chicken and Rock and Roll Radio, and, you know,
Yeah.
Swagman, it's very,
Swagman is on
it's very out there. Like,
Yeah.
love it.
That's the first song we recorded was Swagman. His couple, he
Okay.
said that's the funny song. Let's do that.
Yeah, that was also part of my things. I mean, so I really appreciate almost all of your album, but I think that this one was, you know, very much you. We didn't really try to get in the collaboration too much, except for Jesper, but still sounds very much your music.
You can, if you look at it, you know, that song, that song, that song, that song, that song, and that song. We pretty much have those on our set list ever since.
Yeah.
So
It's a half a record.
Yeah,
Always,
exactly.
always, yeah.
I really had the impression that was maybe not the most successful or the biggest resonance one, but still the one that really tells you better for your own project and nothing else out of that.
yeah, it's a good one. Now you're asking.
Thank you. Now we promote it.
But
you
also
know.
we had a producer for the first time. You
Yeah.
know, we both have our ideas and whatever. And then we had Copper coming in and saying, trying to, you know.
What I forgot to ask you, is there a question you would love to be asked and I didn't?
No.
No, I think
No,
you,
good.
yeah,
Well
you-
prepared,
yeah, pretty
young
good.
man.
No, man.
You can, I mean, stay for a few songs and take
Yeah.
some notes
Lovely.
about how we gonna proceed, because
The
we,
band is texting us. It's like, are we going to play music?
Yeah, call them in.
Yeah.
Call them in.
So what we're gonna do now is we rehearsed for 2 days
Yeah.
now, which was one song by the time, and nail the details and get everything right. And now we have the set list.
Okay.
So we want to work on the transitions between the songs, and, you know, everything has to be the right presets with our pedals and stuff.
Right.
So just so you know where we are in the process, so you understand why we maybe stop or not stop, or why we fuck up and just continue, or because we're
Yeah.
still not ready. We in a perfect way, we're gonna play the whole set 2 times now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the first rehearsal, the first time we play a song after having played for a year, you think you're gonna die. You think, I will never be able to sing this or play it, or this is gonna sound like shit on Friday. You know, the first playthrough is just like, for me, hell.
Yeah.
Then the second one, day 2, is like, oh, good. And now
It should be better
it should
for
be fine.
everybody.